Hey y'all, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. If you like beauty videos, makeup tutorials, reviews, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel. But today I'm going to be doing my 2016 beauty favorites, and I have a lot to cover, so let's jump right into it. So I'm going to start with how I would normally apply makeup to my face, and the first thing I want to talk about is this Pond's dry skin cream. And I used to never wanted to use this because my grandma always used this and I thought it was like old lady stuff. But no, if you have dry skin or just want like your skin to look dewy and feel really healthy and like moisturized without feeling greasy or oily, you need to get this. It's awesome and it's a huge jar. It lasts forever. So definitely pick that up. And then for primers, I have two. And most of what I have in this video will be like some high-end and some drugstore for each category. So my first is this Smashbox primer water. If you've watched any of my tutorials, you know that this is like my favorite thing ever. You can use this if you have dry skin, oily skin. I just feel like it makes my face feel good, my makeup goes on smoother, and it makes it last much longer. So I highly recommend this. I've gone through like 2 or 3 of these this year. And then the second one actually became popular because of YouTube. It's not technically a primer. It's the Nivea Men's Sensitive Post Shave Balm. And this, like, it's not a pore filler or anything like that, but I put this on my face and I really feel like it smooths everything out, like fills in my pores and just gives you that tacky feeling, so your foundation goes on so much smoother. It's really, really good. I was using this a lot at the beginning of the year and then I stopped, and then like a month ago I pulled this back out and I've been using it like every day. And another perk is that it's 3.3 fluid ounces and it's like $5, so super cheap, super awesome. Get this. Next is foundations. And I have two. I've tried a bunch this year and it was so hard for me to pick. But the two that I loved the most and used the most were, first, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. I have the liquid, but this is so easy to put on, obviously, because it's a stick. But if you want your skin to look like perfect, but also glowy and moisturized, get this. And I have mine in, this is shade 117 or Y225. But this one I bought on an accident. I have a backup that's in a lighter shade because this is kind of dark for me. I have to put it on my neck too. But this is really good. If you have oily skin, I don't recommend this. I would stick with the regular Ultra HD in the bottle. And then my favorite foundation from the drugstore was the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Glow. This had so much hype around it and it's so worth it. Like, for right when this came out, for like 2 or 3 months, I was literally picking this over my high-end foundations. And I think this is like $10 at Walmart, Target, wherever. This is so good. It looks really pretty on the skin. And I have mostly dry skin. My nose gets a little oily, but this stays on all day for me. If you're oily, I know some people have used it, but I wouldn't recommend it, or I would use a really mattifying primer and a ton of setting powder. But I highly recommend this. And this doesn't leave me looking like oily. I've had some dewy foundations that just look gross. This just looks natural and pretty and like your skin is really healthy. And I have mine in the shade 201 Classic Ivory. Classic Ivory. And then, my favorite part, concealer. I actually don't have a drugstore concealer just because that's one thing that I've realized this year is that high-end concealers are really worth it because they work better than most drugstore ones, at least for me, and they come in lighter shades. Because I used to really have a problem, like when I would go to Walmart or Target to get concealers, all of them, even the lightest shade, would still look orange under my eyes. So these two are my favorites. The first is the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, and this is in the shade Light, the lightest shade. And then the Tarte, let me zoom in on this. There we go. And then the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair. This is the lightest shade. And this, honestly, like everyone else's this year, if I had to pick between the two, hands down, I would pick the Tarte one. They're both very thick and full coverage. This one's in a squeezy tube, and less is more because you can get cakey under the eye if you use too much. And if you really don't like thick, creamy concealers, these would not be for you. But if I set these with a powder or bake, they just look really good, make my under eyes look smooth. And I have pretty deep bags under my eyes. You can't tell because I have these, well, this one on in powder, but I have pretty bad dark circles, and they both cover them really well. What I will say though, if you don't set this one, it will crease very, very badly. This one, I think, I still set it every day, but I think I could almost get away with not setting it. Like, it dries down, but not to the point where it makes your eyes feel crusty or like they have no moisture. It just looks flawless, like smooth and perfect. I have no other way to describe it. It's the best concealer ever. And I think this one's $24, but you get more in it. It's, I don't know how much is in it, never mind. But the applicator is amazing. Look how huge that is. And you can get right up under your eyes and make the triangle perfectly. So I do prefer this one. Both of the formulas are great, but I like that this has the applicator because this is really hard to squeeze out because it's so thick. But you can't go wrong with either. So for setting powders, my favorite for under the eyes and my whole face, but especially for baking, is the RCMA No Color Powder. This became popular because of Kathleen Lights. I got mine from Beautylish. Yeah, Beautylish.com, and it was like $12. This is so good. Whether you have oily or dry skin, it makes it look smooth and perfect. But especially for baking, if you have dry skin, it doesn't get into the lines under there and make you look old and crusty. It just looks really, really pretty. So I highly recommend this. And then another one, I haven't even had this that long, but I'm obsessed with it already, is the NYX No Filter Powder. It is so smooth and creamy. Like, it's just beautiful. And I have it in the shade Alabaster. And it doesn't look powdery on the skin. It looks, I keep saying this, but it's like buttery and creamy and just like flows into your skin and gives you a smooth canvas for the rest of your makeup. And I really, really like it. And it's drugstore, cheap. Both of those were cheap, so yeah. And then bronzers. First is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. And I've used this in tutorials before. And yeah, milk chocolate, it's the paler version. But they also have the regular chocolate Soleil, and they smell like chocolate, and everyone loves that. And then the next one, it was actually a limited edition, but it's the L'Oreal Glambronze. It's huge. This is in the shade Light, and I use this for contouring. I just really, really like it because it doesn't look orange on me, but it also doesn't look too gray or too like dark that it looks like I put mud on my skin either, and it blends out really, really well. So if you're pale like me, if you can find this anywhere, it was out in the summer. I don't know if they're still selling at some places if they haven't sold out, but if you can get your hands on it, maybe from Amazon, get it. It's really good. Good. And then blush. I have two. First is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Rosé Champagne. And let me open it. When you first look at this, it doesn't seem like it would be very much. It just looks dull and like, what's so special about it? And even in the swatch, oh, you can't see. It's not that great, but like on the cheeks, it just looks really pretty. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a really, really nice blush. And you can pair it with like any look, whether you're doing dramatic eyes, dramatic lips, or a really natural look. It works. Now, the one I used for the longest time was this, the Benefit Dallas blush. And that was because the shade, it's like this bronzy blush. At one point, yeah, right there. At one point when I got really lazy in the year, I would just take the brush and literally use this as like a bronzer and a blush and just like do my whole cheek, and it was a one-step thing, and I really, really loved it for months and months. I haven't used it that much recently, but I want to get back into it because it's just a really, really good blush that has lasted me a long time and that I've used a ton this year. So, highlighters. So this year, I feel like, was the year of highlighters. Like 2015, I mean, it was still popular in 2016, but 2015 was like all about contouring. And this year, well, this past year, 2016, was all about like mega glow highlighters, which I love because I have dry skin, so any help I can get, I want. So my all-time favorites, I have the Anastasia Glow Kit in Gleam. And I have some other highlighters, but my favorites are these Lorac Illuminating highlighters. And I'll swatch them for you. I have the shade Moonlight. And it's like this pinky light highlight. I don't know if you'll be able to see them because I'm so fair. Right there. Yeah, that's Moonlight. Then there's Daylight, which is like a gold champagne color. And then Starlight. This is the first one that I got, I think. It's my favorite. And then towards the end of the year, I finally, after I watched one of Learning to Be Fearless's videos, a Colourpop haul, she had gotten the Super Shock cheek highlighter in Flexitarian, and so naturally I wanted it. And these are like, what, $5, $6? This is the most intense highlight ever. Well, that does not do it justice, but I have it on today. It is like mega glow, like dramatic, wham bam, I'm here, disco ball type highlighter. So exactly the kind that I like. And it's super cheap and creamy, blends in really well, and I just love it. And then next is eyebrows. And I use a lot of brow products throughout the year, and my favorites, I have a few. First is the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in medium brown. This has been my ride or die for like 2 years. I love it. It's just, it stays on all day. It's creamy, doesn't look too dark. It's just awesome. And then the other products that I've been liking, like just to brush through my brows, is the Benefit Gimme Brow. And this is in shade 5. I think it's medium brown. Comparable is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper in the shade medium to dark. This is really good. And they're super similar. And then recently, to set my brows, I've really been liking the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel. It's clear, but it is like super glue for your eyebrows in the best way, because mine can be kind of crazy and stick up throughout the day, but you put this on and they're staying in place. Then on to my favorite thing in the whole world, eyeshadow. And I have 4 palettes because I'm a psycho. The first one is from the drugstore, and it's the CoverGirl True Naked Nudes palette. I love this. I have all of them, and they're kind of powdery, but from the drugstore, these are the creamiest, like, best eyeshadows I've ever used. So definitely go pick these up, especially if you're on a budget. It's $10 a palette. It's much better than like $50 for the Urban Decay, and honestly, they're a little bit powdery, but you can get the same kind of looks with them. Then the next, y'all know Lorac is my all-time favorite brand, and over the summer, the Lorac Pro 3 palette came out, and I love it. It's just super, super neutral, like goldish colors, warm tones, everything you could want if you love neutral eyeshadows. And the pigmentation is just beautiful. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. And then everyone's favorite, this also I think released around the summer, the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. If you love warm tones, pinks, reds, this is your palette. This is the best Anastasia palette I've ever tried. It's gorgeous. It is worth the money. It's like $45, and I am in love with it. It's probably my #1 favorite of the whole year. And then finally, this came out, I want to say, in September, which I got it for my birthday. It's the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics. It's an all matte palette, and I just really like it. Like I was talking about in my last video, that Urban Decay shadows aren't even my favorites anymore, but this one is really good. It kind of made me love Urban Decay a little bit more. And then there's a single shadow from Urban Decay, Polyester Bride. That's a white sparkly shadow that I use for my inner corner and brow highlight, and it's a favorite. And then eyeliner, I have 2, both from the drugstore. The first is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner, which I use on my top lash line every day. Super black, super matte, stays all day. And then the Essence Gel Waterproof Eye Pencil. This really is waterproof. It's like $2.99. Let me hold them up closer so you can see. And this one. And they're both super black. This one is $2.99, and it stays on the waterline all day. Doesn't smudge. It's awesome. Okay, now mascaras. I also love mascara, and I have 4. 2 are high-end. The first will be no surprise, the Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof. This I've loved for over a year now. Well, first I love the original. Love this one just the same because I'm emotional. I cry a lot, my eyes water, whatever. This will not fail you if you love thick, voluminous, dark lashes. Then recently I've really been liking the Benefit Roller Lash, just because I have a really hard time. I have long eyelashes, but they don't want to stay curled. Like they'll just go like flat, be super long, but just stick out like that. And this, without even using an eyelash curler, really curls them and holds them in place all day. And I love it. But it's not waterproof, so that's the only thing I don't like. And I don't think they have a waterproof version. Then the next 2 are from Essence, and they're like $5 a piece. They're the Lash Princess mascaras. These are cheap and amazing. Like, they're the most comparable to these 2 out of any from the drugstore, and probably the cheapest comparison that I've found. They stay all day. They help curl my lashes. Not as much as the Roller Lash, but they'll get the job done. They're super black. They don't flake away or do any weird stuff to my eyes, so I really, really love them. And then next is setting sprays, and I have two. I have a lot of setting sprays, but my favorite high-end one is the Urban Decay All-Nighter. No surprise. I'm almost out of this one. I've gone through a ton because you're supposed to do like 4 spritzes, and I literally spray it until my face is soaked. So that's why I go through them so fast. And then the NYX Dewy Finish long-lasting setting spray. This, I don't know that it makes me really dewy, but it makes my skin look healthy, and like this is a good refresher throughout the day. And it makes your face feel good. And it both, the Urban Decay and this one, take away powdery looks when you've put on too much makeup or anything like that. And then finally, for lip products, my camera's about to die, so I've got to hurry up. I've really been liking the Essence lip liners. They're like $2. This one is in, what shade? I don't even know. I don't know. The red one and the nude one. I really like those. And then I've really been loving the Milani lip liners this year. This one is in Spice. 09 Spice. These are like the creamiest lip liners I've ever used. By far my favorite. Then this year, 2016, I discovered Buxom lip products. This is their Wildly Whipped Soft Matte Lip Color in Nudist. And it's super pretty. It takes a while to set, but once it does, it looks really pretty and doesn't dry out your lips or give you like the butthole look where it fades in the middle and not the rest. It's pretty long wearing. It does transfer a little bit, but not too bad. And the other one is in my purse, but it's the Buxom like plumping lip glosses in the shade Dolly. I've loved that this year. And also the NYX liquid suedes and their lingerie liquid lipsticks. But these I really like. I have this color on today because they're matte but still creamy, like not too drying, and I just love them. I have like 6 or 7 shades. They're all really good. And then finally, this one's like a tried and true, all of the NYX butter glosses, but this one, well, and another one, but I forgot to get it out, in Creme Brulee is my favorite. And then, what's the other one? I don't remember, but you can't go wrong with these. They're not sticky. They just glide on really well, make your lips look shiny and pretty. And those are my favorites for the year. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like this and subscribe and leave me your comments and requests down below. Thanks guys. Bye. Okay. Y'all, I'm disgusting. I literally never have to burp until I film a video. Help me. But if you have oily skin, I don't recommend it. Okay. And I'm sorry, I have like hiccups or burps or something. I don't know. It never fails. Y'all, I'm sorry, I can't film without... I'll be fine the whole day, and then as soon as I start trying to talk and filming, I have to burp or hiccup or something disgusting.